guys, welcome to Beyond the Box. I'm here with my friend Cassie Stephens, who I met at a clay sculpture class, and I thought she would be interesting to come on because you just bring so much to the table. So she is an art teacher, a professional thrifter, seamstress, a published author, a jack of all trades. You hike Radnor like you work there, and so I don't know. Let's just start from the beginning. Like, where did you get your flash and flair? Did you have it growing up as a kid? Did you always want to be an art teacher? All that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, that was let's
so
see.
much
Flash and flair. I don't know about that, but
you do.
Well, I think a part of it is that you mentioned thrifting. Mm-hmm. You know, I grew up in like a rural town in Indiana, so there was Kmart. And then there was nothing else. So, as a teenager, you're always perpetually broke.
Yeah.
And you're always bored. So the thing that my friends and I would do is we would hit the thrift stores. Yeah. And so kind of gather up random bits of clothing here and there. And I really enjoyed the vintage clothing. That was my favorite, especially if I could find anything from the 50s or 60s. So I think that's
as a kid even?
Well, not as a kid, no. Okay. No, I mean, as a kid, younger, I did go to a Catholic school for a couple of years. So I was in a uniform for a couple of years.
Yeah,
and
same. That's funny.
My parents used it.
I went to an Episcopal
and you
day
had a
school.
Uniform?
We had a uniform, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So my parents were like, I literally remember my mom saying, I won't have to buy you any new clothes for a couple of years.
Yes.
And didn't. And so I think that just having to wear the same thing was kind of nice, and that removed that like weird competitiveness that you might have at that age.
What uniform did you wear?
I had a plaid skirt.
Yes, same.
White shirt with the elephant collar.
Okay,
that curved rounded collar, which I still love.
And then did you have the vest as well?
No, I
had
did not have a vest.
And then I had a jacket on Mondays that we would have to wear to chapel.
Now, I think it was just like a sweater or something, but I do remember that it had such beautiful crisp pleats, but after like 4 weeks, the pleats were gone because you have to wash the skirt so often.
Right.
And literally had one skirt for 2 years, 2 shirts. So anyway, I think that being in like a little bit of a clothes drought, when I got out of that and got a little bit older, now I'm like a clothes horse, a clothes hoarder. I'm like actually kind of weeding through stuff right now. Yeah, I think I could probably go a full year and not repeat an outfit.
Side note, she has a huge like social media following, and so she shows all the time. You show your house with all of your clothes, and it is like it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And it looks
and
organized,
I'm like, how
do
you know what even to pick out in the morning?
Yeah, I don't. Sometimes I'm just like, close my eye, kind of, let's see.
Because I'm amazed. It's like, you've got it down. You pick out the skirt. You're like, you've got the shirt. Should I wear a vest with it? And the earrings and the clips. And I'm like, where do you even find all that?
Find it by shopping a lot and not getting rid of anything. That's how you acquire so much stuff. It's the hoarder's how-to guide is what I just gave you. Buy a lot, don't get rid of anything. But so just like thrifting and enjoying putting outfits together, I think that's kind of how it started in high school.
Yeah.
But then when I moved from Indiana to Nashville, because Nashville was one of the places that offered me a teaching job, I was like, I guess I have to dress like a teacher. So it was like 1998.
Yeah.
And fashion for teachers in the year of 1998 was a lot of Gap jean jumpers, like an all-in-one dress jumper.
For an art teacher.
For any teacher.
Okay.
There was no differentiation. We all wore khaki pleated pants and jean jumpers.
Okay.
There was a lot of that.
Yeah.
And so I wore the uniform for a little while, and it was just so boring. I hated it. I hated dressing like that.
I'm depressed.
Yes, it was depressing. So I started bringing in a little bit of flair into my wardrobe, so I would decorate. At that time, I didn't know how to sew, but I would stamp an apron with whatever theme we were going to be learning about, and I would wear that apron.
Are these younger kids?
I taught kindergarten through 4th.
Oh, wow. Okay.
When I first started teaching, I thought
so they really
kindergarten
appreciated
second.
your clothes.
Yeah,
I mean, they were like,
unusual.
it's so much fun. It's like colorful. And,
right. Yeah. Anything different because they were used to gap jumpers. So
Yeah.
anything that had a little bit of flair, I think they enjoyed. So whenever I would wear something like that or some unusual earrings or a pin or a brooch, they would really comment on it. They would understand the tie-in with what we were learning. And I realized, so this is another tool for teaching.
Right.
That not only what work with the kids, but I really have a passion for it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I remember asking my mom for Christmas for a sewing machine. And so I was like, I'm going to start sewing aprons and clothes. That sewing machine sat in the box for 5 years.
I was going to say, was that not, that would have scared me to death.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea. I'll sew my finger.
That's what I was just going to say. Everybody's always like, I'm going to sew my fingers.
Yeah.
It's never happened.
Did you take a class or did you just learn how to?
So
did your mom know how?
No.
Okay.
No. I think it skips like a generation. My grandmother on my dad's side, she knew how to sew. And I always asked if, she would teach me. She taught me everything else, cross stitch. And I learned a lot of handcrafts from her, which was great. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, sewing was not something she taught me. And it's funny because she had one of those sewing machines where it was so old, you had to use your foot. It had like a foot pedal on it too. I mean, they all have like a foot pedal, but one where you have to pump action to get the machine.
Pedal.
Yes.
Okay.
Go like an old school singer that weighed like 800 pounds.
Yeah.
She probably thought I would break it. So I had a friend who is an art teacher or was an art teacher. And I went to visit her one weekend and she's like, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to learn how to sew. And she knew how to sew and knit and everything. She said, bring a pattern.
Yeah, I was going to say,
you
don't make patterns, you buy patterns. Okay.
Right. No, I could not. So I went to visit her in Memphis, and over the weekend, she basically did all the work for me, but showed me how to use a pattern.
You're like, I did it.
Yeah. And it was so funny because I had collected a ton of vintage patterns because I just love anything vintage I love. But the 1950s and really any of them, they all have those really cool illustrations of women on the cover wearing their fancy outfits.
Yes.
And so I had been accumulating a stash of them even though I didn't know how to sew. So I just had boxes of them. She said, well, pick one of those vintage patterns that you like, bring some fabric, come visit me, and we'll make a dress this weekend. So we were almost done with the dress. Mm-hmm. And she said, this dress seems a little small. Are you sure this is going to fit you? And I'm like, I don't know. And she said, well, what's the pattern envelope say? And I'm like, well, I don't know. And what do you mean? What does it say? It said like size 12 on it. And I'm like, that'll work.
Yeah.
She's like, no, but the patterns back, they have different sizing on it. What does the chest measurement say? Well, it was very, very, very tiny. It was made for a junior high school girl. So we had to put in like a paneling of fabric right down the middle just to give me a little bit of breathing room.
Do you still have it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a funny dress, though, because apart from messing that up, the dress has what's called a, quote, dangling zipper, which means that the back of the dress near your rear end, the zipper is not attached to anything. So you just have like this fold of fabric and the literal dangling zipper. So it's quite weird to wear a dress like that.
Can you not tuck it?
Oh, yeah, it's hidden, but it's just dangling back there doing whatever it wants. I don't know, but it's very strange. But yes, so
what's the hardest thing to sew that you've sewn?
Well, I use the same dress pattern over and over again because I found, I've sewed a lot of dresses. I mean, probably 50 to 75 different dresses. Dang. And I've only used a handful of patterns because, you get to a point where you find out what you feel fits and looks good on you.
Right.
And not everything fits and looks good on you. And so sometimes I would pick a pattern and then after I made it, I was like, I don't like the fit. I don't like the way this is hitting my neck or it doesn't give me enough room through my shoulders. Mm-hmm. So now I just use the same pattern, which is like a big skirt, basically a 1950s kind of dress. Fitted top, big skirt. So
you should sell your stuff.
That's what everybody always says. But if you knew how long it takes to make a dress, it would be
but how many dresses have you made?
Like 50 or 75.
Girl, you could do like a little pop-up boutique.
Yeah,
like
just
something else you should add to your resume, honestly.
Right. But probably the hardest thing to sew was I recently took a sewing class locally, and we made that quilted coat.
Yeah.
And that was hard to sew just because sewing a quilt through a machine it's such thick fabric.
Right.
And my my little Walmart sewing machine, it's time for me to upgrade.
Yeah.
It's struggling. It's like, I can't do this thick fabric. What are you doing to me?
I don't even know. You do so many different things that I'm feeling a little overwhelmed on what I need to ask you. Like,
I'm all over the place. It's a problem.
You are. No, it's not a problem. It's cool because you're always learning, you know? It's like you do the clay thing, and then, you know, the stuff that I see online that you do with the cat house with... Yeah. I don't know what you did. It was like, what was it?
It was a cardboard cat
or something?
House, yeah, that my mother-in-law got me, but it was Christmas themed, and I was tired of looking at the Christmas theme house, even though it was.
But was it cardboard?
Long past Christmas. It's a cardboard house.
See, most people would just throw it away.
I thought about it. But the cat liked going in it, so that I redecorated it with this stuff called Celluclay, which is like a paper kind of clay you can find at the craft store. You just add water to it and it turns into clay.
Right.
And then I also use plaster. It's so funny because I was looking at it today. I have a little bit left to do. I get sidetracked really easy. I love to start projects. I'm not great at always finishing them. Yeah. That's why taking a class like a clay class was good.
I don't believe you.
Well,
because you do finish things out, and you have a lot more patience than me, but also you catch on to things a lot quicker than I do.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind I have clay. If you're talking about clay, I mean, I do have like an art background.
I know you do.
That would be like me saying to you, you sure do catch on to those dance moves a lot faster than I do. Well, duh, that's what you do. That's your whole thing, you know? Okay, or singing or something, yeah. If you had me dancing or singing, I would be, it would be a fail. So it's not a fair comparison.
Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I won't be back with the wheel. That was a disaster. I don't feel like you really thrived in that either, though. I feel like
I enjoyed it.
I feel like we liked the sculpture thing better, though, for social reasons.
Yeah. The wheel throwing was fun, but I mean, I was going there for social engagement because now that I work from home, I feel like I need to get out and talk to people.
What about your husband?
I mean, yeah, that's fine, but, you know, other people besides the cats and the husband, you know. So, but with wheel throwing, you just have to focus so much that there's not a lot of conversating. I mean, the whole class was really which was great. They're all in their zone.
Yeah.
But with sculpture, it was a lot more chatty and fun.
Yeah, it was a lot more fluid.
Yeah.
For sure. It was fun. So when did you decide that you wanted to get into teaching art?
Well, I didn't exactly decide that I wanted to do it. So here's how it went down. So I was in college and I didn't know what I wanted to do, like most of us in college, but I'd always enjoyed art. Mm-hmm. And I went to Indiana University, which was a huge school, and I graduated from a very, very small school. So I went to school where there was like 70 kids in my graduating class. And then the next year I'm at a school with like 30,000 kids. So I was completely overwhelmed and overstimulated and just like lost. Yeah. Even though when I was in high school, I felt
like most kids.
Yeah, but when I was in high school, I felt like I really knew who I was because it was just such a small environment. Everybody kind of had their little place, and I was like the weird artsy girl.
Right.
But then you go to college, and everybody's the weird artsy whomever, you know? Mm-hmm. So I didn't take any art classes just because my parents, thankfully, were footing the bill, and they were like, we're not paying for you to take art classes. You're going to get an education. But after my freshman year, I was like, I got to take at least one. And I ended up taking an oil painting class, and I loved it. It was the coolest class ever.
Wow.
It was just the best thing.
That's
and
hard.
I thought,
that medium's hard.
Oh, it is hard.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I loved the sweet smell of it, and there was always coffee going, and it was like kind of like our clay class. It was a really community vibe. Everybody was chatty and having a great time.
Yeah.
And I thought, I want to do this all the time. Mm-hmm. And so I applied they had a painting program, a BFA painting program, where you would get your own studio for 2 years. And basically you were just to take your other classes, but mostly just focus on painting.
Okay.
And I thought, that's what I want to do. That sounds amazing.
So like paint and then commission and, sell your art? Or
No. Not necessarily. I mean, I did, but not necessarily. It was just like, it was a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree for painting.
Okay.
Essentially. And so I applied for the program. I got in to the program, and I was super stoked. But my parents were like, what are you doing? What are you going to do with the painting degree? Which is a legitimate question.
Yeah.
So they said, we'll foot the bill for the painting degree, but you also have to get something else. And the something else we settled on was an education degree. I was going to get certified to teach kindergarten through 12th grade. I had absolutely no intention of using that degree. I was like, sure, I'll get it.
Did you like kids at the time?
No. I had no interest in being around them. I mean, there are teachers in my family, but that didn't strike me as something I wanted to do. And I ultimately did my student teaching, part of it in Indiana and then part of it in Ireland, which was really fun.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to talk to you about that because I want to go to Ireland.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. It's been since 1998, but
yeah, that's okay.
That's when I was there.
Buildings are still there.
It was hilarious because they had, I taught at a private Catholic school, and the kids were so naughty. They were so ornery. And
in Ireland?
Oh yeah, they're just cheeky. We'll put it that way.
Oh wow! They were sneaking beer.
It was 1998.
Like Irish beer.
Nothing like that. You didn't have to sneak it. You didn't have to sneak it. Everybody's drinking Guinness. I mean, yeah. After school, everybody would be at their local, which was their pub.
Wow.
No, the question at the time was.
How long were you there for?
Just a couple of months.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
was there for a couple of months, did my student teaching in Bloomington, Indiana for a couple of months, and then in Ireland for a couple of months. And I taught, I think it was like middle school and not quite seniors, so middle school and high school age kids. Okay. And every Wednesday was a half day because they had to go watch a football game, which was rugby.
Wow.
Rugby or soccer.
Yeah.
The kids would ask me random questions like about Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton and that whole scandal, because that was what was happening.
Oh, crap.
And they are just enthralled, or at the time they were enthralled with American culture, so they were asking me all these questions like,
was it
this
the day
is
you
not
wore a beret?
appropriate. What?
Was it the day you wore a beret?
No.
They were asking.
So, but when I came back from that teaching experience, while I was gone, I think my parents knew I was not going to actively be looking for a teaching gig. So while I was gone, my dad sent out 52 job applications.
Shut up.
Because this was back in the day, you had to send out a job application. You didn't do anything online.
He sent them out for you?
Yeah.
Oh.
52. Some as far away as Alaska.
Okay.
And bro wanted me to be employed.
I mean, did you know that he was doing that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm glad he did, but they were really like, this girl is planning on living in the garage and not doing it. So we got to get her employed.
Shut up. That's.
Yeah. It was a mountain of because back in the day, you would send off for an application. They would send you back the application. You had to fill out the application, send it back, and then get a phone call. So, yeah, there was a mountain on my mom's
mad at him?
desk.
I'm still like,
no,
I cannot believe that
it
your
worked
dad
out, but one of the job applications.
You were thankful to him.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, I don't know. Who knows what would have happened? But
you would have been in Ireland drinking beer.
No, I had to come back. So
wandering the streets.
I came back, and one of the jobs where I had the application where they called me was down here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'd never been to Nashville. Well, I take that back. I'd been to Nashville once, but my grandmother had never been. And I thought this will be a fun little summertime road trip.
Check out all the vintage stores before.
Well, I don't even know if there were that many back. 1998 Nashville was a lot different.
Totally.
I mean, downtown was a ghost town.
Yeah.
I remember there was the Acme Feed place, like the original Acme Feed and Seed, and then it was quiet down there.
Yeah,
there was nothing. But I remember we came here, and it's interesting because the previous year, Nashville had never had art in their schools, in their metropolitan schools.
Really?
So the previous year, in 1997.
Were there not magnet schools and all of that?
I don't know.
Okay.
But as far as K through 12 schools, yeah. So that the following year when I was getting interviewed, this was like the second wave of them bringing in art teachers from out of state.
That's crazy.
They just didn't have it. So then all of a sudden they did. They needed art teachers.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if when I was in school, was there art?
I never had art in school.
I mean, maybe I didn't either.
Not until high school.
Did you?
Did you have an elementary?
I did.
Yeah.
I just turned 30. So
Baby. So I taught. So kids that I taught are his age.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild to think about.
Yeah.
But so when I came down here, my grandmother and I, we went to Nashville Palace quite a bit because she loved it.
To line dance.
Yeah. Well, back then, I don't even know if that was a thing. She just loved to watch live music. She just had so much fun. Bless. But I do remember we went to Cracker Barrel because we didn't have Cracker Barrel in Indiana.
Really?
So we were like, ooh, let's go to
unlimited biscuits,
Barrel.
really?
We were so excited.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because my grandmother, she was a smoker. She was like, Cassandra Lane, are you ready to go? And I'm like, yep, let's go. So we leave. We're in the car heading back to the hotel. I got an interview for the next day to get ready for. And then she turns to me and goes, Cassandra Lane, we forgot to pay the bill. She's sitting there holding the ticket because we got so mesmerized in the gift shop. I thought she went off and paid. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Never
that's
paid.
hilarious.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
You
Before
do.
a job
You get
interview,
stuck
I
in
just
there.
dined and dashed. What is happening? So she just knew we were going to be on the news. It was going to be a big scandal. She was worried sick the rest of the time we were here. But yeah, so I got hired and moved down here a couple of months after that. Didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
That was a little unnerving. But, people now do it all the time, moving to Nashville without knowing a soul.
Right. But
with
back
social
then,
media, it's a lot easier to connect.
Totally.
But
it's brave, when you go down there by yourself and you have, you start a new job and you have no idea.
Uh-huh. And I really had no idea because I had only done student teaching with high schoolers and middle schoolers. But usually when you get hired to
I would
teach,
think high school and middle school would be really hard to deal with because you've got attitude.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I've never done it. Not since student teaching. I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
For that reason alone, I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine with phones and AirPods?
And they probably wouldn't appreciate your thriftiness.
Oh, no. I have a feeling they would not.
Yeah.
That's just a guess. I don't know. I could be wrong.
That's their loss.
Yeah.
But so when I got the job interview, they're asking you all these questions like, how do you teach kids? You enjoy teaching kids. And of course, you just say yes because you want the dang job.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I love kids.
You have to fake it till you make it.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
So the guy was so funny. His name, I probably shouldn't say his name, but he had a great name.
Yeah.
And he kept asking me in a great accent. He was like, we got
What
this
did it rhyme
brand new,
with?
About this brand new classroom. You want to see this brand new classroom? We've got a brand new classroom for you, Miss Stephens. You want to check it out? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I didn't want to see. I'm like, I don't always make sure you see the classroom if you're interviewing for a teaching job. Always say, yes, I want to see the classroom. But I was just like thinking, I'm just going to lock this job down. He was talking this classroom up. It's a really great classroom. You're going to love it, blah, blah, blah. It turns out that it was, and I didn't know this was a thing, so this just shows how naive I was. It was a portable. It was
in a janitor's closet.
No, it was a portable.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
I'm thinking when he gave me the keys, when I finally did get the job, and they're like, it's out back. I'm thinking, what do you mean my classroom is out back? And then sure enough, out there was, in my mind, a trailer park. And I knew what a trailer park was because that's where my grandmother lived. So I'm like, wait a minute, I'm in a trailer.
Is my grandmother here? Yeah.
But it was a brand new trailer, so
Yeah.
he was correct. It was a brand new portable classroom.
Oh my
So,
God.
Yeah. So
That's
I was
crazy.
I taught in Nashville for 5 years, and I was very fortunate to have that classroom because most art teachers are on carts. Most of them have to go from classroom to classroom. So I was really lucky to have a room of my own.
Okay.
But it was really weird because since it was separated from the school, I never really saw anybody else aside from the students in my room. I never really saw the teachers, and I never really formed any connection with them. So it was really lonely.
Right.
And then after
You would
5
think,
years
too,
there,
that you would need, especially for an art teacher, you have a lot of supplies and stuff that you would need a bigger space.
it was a great big space.
Was it really?
It was a great big portable.
Okay.
It was quite nice.
Yeah.
But it was right underneath the flight path of the Nashville International Airport. So like
Oh, God.
every 20 minutes I would have to stop talking and the windows would rattle and the whole thing would shake.
Like brace
Markers
yourself.
were falling off
Yeah.
tables. Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. So you did that for...
5 years I was there.
Okay.
And then I then went to a school in Franklin, and I was there for 20.
Okay. So why did you stop? Because you were there for 20.
Well, I taught for 25 years, and I just felt like there was some other things that I wanted to do that I felt like I didn't have time to do because I was teaching. And it was trying to teach and reach teachers and kids beyond the walls of my classroom.
Were you writing books when you were doing that as well?
And it was really tough.
Yeah.
And I was also creating a lot of YouTube content and a lot of blog posts, where I was sharing a lot of lessons, and I was trying to do all of it. And I felt like I needed to maybe pick one. I enjoyed teaching a lot, but I had done it for 25 years.
Right.
So I was kind of ready to maybe see if I could try something else.
Like, I was going to ask you, how did you embrace and grasp everything that you were doing? Like online, for one. I mean, and you still do so much. And it's just, I'm at the very beginning of trying to understand, like, everything that there is with the internet and stuff. Did you learn it all as you were teaching, or did you
just learn as you go?
Okay.
Yeah. I think the most important thing is just share what you're interested in, because if you're sharing what you're interested in, you're so interested in it, you're going to keep talking about it or sharing about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when you decided you wanted to what was your first book, by the way?
My first book, I had a publisher reach out to me and say, cool. And that was because I was sharing so many lessons online. At that point, I had been sharing a lot of content online, a lot of videos online.
On YouTube?
YouTube.
Okay.
But mostly I was sharing. First, I was on my blog and just sharing there. And that was when, like 2012, when blogs were kind of, well, they were a lot more popular than they are kind of now. I feel like they're kind of making
now
a
it's
comeback.
Kind of like, well, I feel like it was blogging, and then it's morphed into podcasting.
For sure, because it was like blogging, then YouTube, then podcasting. And I feel like blogs are kind of coming back. I mean, I still visit some. Yeah. But what did you ask me?
I can't remember. What did I?
How did you get used to posting online, that kind of thing?
Yeah, just everything you did. Oh, I said with your first book. Like he came to you, and then were you ever thinking, I would like to put out a book. I would like to be a published author.
I mean, maybe it's just me, but I just assumed everybody's like, I want to write a book. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody's like, that would be so cool. And so I was really flattered when the book publisher reached out to me and they said, we would like to have you write a book.
Did you write? I'm sure projects. You wrote and illustrated, right?
Now, this book was, it's 52 clay projects for children. So there is no illustrating in it, but it's a lot of photography. And they said, we'll pay you this amount to create the content and write the book. And then we'll pay you an additional amount for the photography if you want to do the photography. And I was already doing a lot of photography for my blog. So I was like, oh, sure, I can do the photography.
Wow.
But it ended up being a lot because I had literally like a cafeteria table with a little... console table on top of it, holding my tripod with like a beanbag sitting on. I mean, it was the most homemade setup you ever did see, but I got the photos done. So, and that was a tremendous amount of work to come up with 52 art lessons and then photograph them and then write them in such a way that a child is supposed to be able to read it and understand it.
Wow.
That was tough.
So you did every bit of that.
I did that. Then they did the rest. So they had to do the graphic design, the publishing, the printing, the advertising, the whole 9 yards.
The marketing part.
But you get paid up front and you get paid a nice chunk. Yeah. But in the end, once the books are selling, I only get royalty if, I think it's like 11 cents on every copy or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So you don't get a lot.
Can you not like bargain or
renegotiate?
Negotiate.
I mean, when they asked me for the second book, which I probably should not have done, but they asked me, and because I was just flattered, my ego got in the way. I tried to get them to increase a little bit of the payment, and they did a tiny bit, but ultimately it's just best to go on your own.
Yeah.
It's good to work with a publisher. It was for me anyway, just to kind of learn the ropes, I guess. Mm-hmm. And also if you don't have like a social media platform, if you can't just throw something out there and people are going to know, oh, you made this, I want this. Whereas a publisher does have that reach. So that's nice. Right. So then I decided to self-publish after that.
After your first book?
After my first two.
Oh, okay.
So I did two with the publisher.
Oh, my God.
Both they sell them on Amazon and in Barnes & Noble, whatever.
Right.
And then the others are sold by me, and they are not available on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Wow. They're only available through me. That way I can receive all the funding for it. Yeah.
So how many books have you written so far?
So if we're counting those two, 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
And are they in like Barnes & Noble and stuff, did you say?
Just those first two.
Okay.
So 52 clay projects for kids, and then the other one is called Stitch and String Lab for kids, which is a bunch of sewing and weaving fiber arts projects for children. Because those are my favorite things to teach, clay and fiber arts.
Yeah. Why'd you take a clay class if you already knew?
It's for social reasons, really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just to hang out.
Yeah.
Okay. Gosh.
Yeah.
Master in disguise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I
crazy.
could have taught the class. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't put that in there. Don't put that in there.
So what'd you say?
I said I could have taught the class.
You could have taught the class. You could have taught the class. Probably better.
No,
Yeah.
she did a great job.
I mean, yeah, Alexis was great.
Yeah.
Meredith, that was just me.
The wheel throwing was not your thing.
I know. I fell out.
It was not your thing.
I fell out. It was bad.
It's okay.
I'm gonna move on to something else. So what else? What else do you do besides besides everything that you do and the hiking, and what is a typical day like for you?
Well, a typical day is I got roped into walking my neighbor's dog. So I
you're a
walk
dog
his
walker
dog
now.
every morning. Yep. He is elderly, so he can, and it's a big Great Pyrenees dog, and it needs to get outside. So
Yeah.
we go for a walk in the morning. And then Can
you go to Radnor with dogs?
No.
I can't, okay.
Well, you can't walk on the trail. You can do the road, but as you know, the road's closed.
Well, I haven't been
opening
over
soon.
there in a while.
It's opening on November 1st.
Since I got my ticket. Yeah.
You're naughty.
So yeah, they closed it down for I don't know
Until
whatever.
November 1st.
Right.
So
and
it'll
then
be
for
back
some
open
reason I
soon.
thought, well, I can just go up in the woods and I won't get caught. And then I got caught.
Yeah.
That was not
Sure
good.
did.
Yeah.
Sure did.
But whatever.
So I walk the dog. I just found out the other day, because we're getting older, that I have osteoporosis. So that's awesome. So now I do weightlifting in the morning, because I was told that that's really good for that. So I just started this is my second week going into that. So I haven't been doing that long.
What kind of weights do you do?
Right now I'm just using like 12-pound dumbbell weights.
Okay.
And so I'm keeping it very simple, like 30 minutes. So only 5 days a week.
Are you just doing? You can do push-ups and stuff too.
Yeah. So I bought this thing on Amazon, which is like a dumbbell chart, and it shows all the different exercises. So I think there's 10 on there, and I just do reps of each one 3 times for a minute. So it ends up being like 30 minutes.
Yes. When you hike, what I like to do is. Usually there's like benches and stuff set up. And so I will hike until I hit a bench, and then I'll do 10 push-ups and then 10 tricep dips.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, or more.
Yeah.
And then you keep walking to the next one. You do the same thing.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I was kind of devastated to hear that when they did the bone density scan. I was like, oh, this is getting older. Business sucks.
Well,
so
it's a hormone thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And take more vitamin D.
They gave me vitamin D.
It was K.
Calcium. Yeah, D3 with K.
Because it helps with
Calcium.
absorption better.
And another vitamin C. So now I'm on like these horse tranquilizer sized pills every morning. This is my new
We should work out
routine.
together.
Yes. Clearly I need some help. But and then I pack book orders usually in the morning.
Yeah.
And now I'm working on another book. So I'm in the not really fun part of just sitting and just trying to get because all my children's books rhyme. So trying to make a rhyming book that has the same meter to it, because you have to count out your syllables and make sure that there's enough syllables and make sure it rhymes. But then more importantly, make sure you're getting the concepts across. So this new book is all about color. And when you're teaching children about color, you want them to learn about the primary colors, how they create the secondary colors.
Yeah.
And you want them to be able to learn to read a color wheel. It's a lot that you teach them. And so it's a lot to really pack into a book that you want to also make interesting for children. So that's the other thing. And then you have to come up with a character who's going to be explaining the whole concept to kids. So
Did you have an animal in your classroom, like a Like my kids had like a hedgehog that their teacher would come in and then they could take care of the hedgehog. Like
I never had any live animals. We had some characters in my room. So we had a snake called Larry the Line, and that's what my first children's book is called, Larry the Line, because he teaches us all about lines. So there was this stuffed snake that I would use that I would convince the kids was real.
Okay.
And then I had another stuffed
Did you
creature. I mean, it would
Yeah.
move, and I would move it around, and it had a rattly tail. So, I mean, they're kindergarten, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
I even had a elf on a shelf in my room.
Oh, nice.
That the fourth graders absolutely loved because they want to believe. That's the thing. They just want. They may act like they're
you're
too
right
cool.
on the cusp at fourth grade.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Kids are talking.
So
like,
I had a lot
I do
of
believe it.
weird things in my room.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. But anyway, so that's what my typical day is working on that kind of stuff, and then creating
And
video
then you
content.
hike at like 5 o'clock.
Yeah, but now we can't because the time change and all that. So now
Yeah.
we hike. Now we hike in our neighborhood at night, so around 8 o'clock.
I was gonna say, what does your husband do when you're doing all this stuff?
Well, he's at work.
Okay.
Yeah, he's working, and
Does he? I've only met him a couple of times, but does he get into like vintage clothes at all? No.
No. He wears
like,
all
no.
brown. I always tell people that he looks like, if anybody's like, he's missing, what was he wearing? I would be like, have you seen the guys
Brown.
at UPS? He looks like he might work for UPS. He's wearing brown.
How long have y'all been married?
24 years.
Wow. Okay, so what attracted? What was the attraction like? Because were you at this time? Were you full blown vintage? Were you?
Not really, no. I think we were just, I don't know, interested in hanging out with each other. I met him after I had lived in Nashville for a month.
Okay.
And he had been the music teacher at the school.
Okay.
So for 5 years, he taught music there. Not at the same time.
Yeah.
But this, like I said, was in 1998. And so one day after school, I was in the library/computer lab, home of the only 2 computers in the whole school, if you can imagine. And I happened to be in there checking my email. He was at the next computer because he was just visiting because he had just since, quote, retired from teaching there the previous year. So he was visiting some buddies and went to check his email because he didn't have a computer, which is bizarre because he was starting his own business at that time and didn't even have a computer at his house to check email. Yeah. So we just got to talking, and then that was it. In fact, I think our first date was going to the Nashville flea market. So that's probably why. I was like, those are.
You're like, this is
my
great.
ears,
I
flea
love
market.
it.
What? Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Well, let's see. What else? It's like, what else do we talk about? Because you've just done.
Well, we've
so
talked
much.
for a long time. How long have we been talking?
30 minutes.
That's pretty good.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
What else can we?
I don't know. I
just
don't know. I
wondering
feel
what
like
else-
we've covered quite a bit.
I want to know too. What else are you? What is
Working
in the
on?
horizon? Yeah, like what are you?
Just so as far as where I'm going now, what I'm working on now, it's my
You're still doing the books.
My goal is to write. So when you teach art, there are 7 elements to teaching art. There's 7 like very important things you should know about when you're creating art, which is line. You should know all about lines,
Yeah.
which is one of my first book. My first kid's book was line. Shape, you should know your shape. So that was my second book. Color, which is
Yeah.
what I'm working on now. Value, which is the lightness and darkness of color. So these are books on the horizon, which would be value. Form, like cubes, spheres, things like that. Texture and space. So
Right.
those are like 4 books that I need to knock out, because as a teacher, as an art teacher, that's what you're always trying to teach. There's just not a lot of books out there, not a lot of resources on those elements. So that's why I
Right.
wanted to create one of each. Basically, I wanted to create things that I wish I'd had as a teacher, and some things that I kind of made also on the fly. Like I'd always been writing little poems to help them remember stuff. So, and then I would always share them online. So now to actually have, here's a tangible resource you can use, I hope that it really helps, because, you know, even when it comes to like, you have to teach kids everything.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just say, oh, today we're going to learn how to paint. Here's some paper. Okay, go paint a rainbow. No, you have to teach them here's how you hold the brush, because otherwise they'll smash it into the paint. And here's how you clean your brush, because otherwise they're going to mix up the colors. So you have to literally teach them everything, which you don't really know that as a first-year teacher. I didn't. I would be like, hey, we're going to cut this out. And then after the kids leave, you find that they cut their hair as well as the paper.
Right,
It's just stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't know that you got to do it until you're in the thick of it.
Have you ever thought about like teaching college level? Because that doesn't seem like that would be quite as time consuming, It's just a different...
I like teaching it. I like teaching all of that stuff. I really don't mind. But the thing is that I grew up on Pee-wee's Playhouse and watching like Sesame Street, where it was engaging and interesting. So when I would teach, here's how you use your brush, you cannot tell a kid, you gotta hold it like this, and you gotta do that. You have to make it extremely animated. You have to use a giant paintbrush. You have to dress up as a brush. You have to do all the things. And I loved that.
Yeah.
If you don't love that, then maybe teach college, because then you can be like, you can get more into the more intellectual kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah,
but I enjoy all that like goofy theatrical stuff, and then coming up with silly ways to help them remember, like telling them that their paintbrush is like a ballerina and it always has to be on its toes. Right. So I wrote a book called The Paintbrush Ballerina to help kids beyond my classroom hopefully understand how to hold their paintbrush and not smash it into the paper and ruin their artwork. So
I get that.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the stuff that I work on now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about for this Halloween? Like, what are you?
I never dress up for Halloween. Isn't
really?
that funny? I used to when I was teaching.
Okay.
I would dress up like as different works of art or stuff like that. Like the painting, there's a famous painting by a guy named Rene Magritte, where he has the apple for the face. And he's wearing a top hat. Okay. So I one time made myself a hat with an apple hanging in front of it, which seemed like a really good idea at the time, except for the fact that I couldn't see around the dang apple.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But so I would dress up like that. But yeah, we usually go to haunted houses, so we're usually not dressed up. We're usually like going and getting
scared.
The scares. Yeah.
Do you get scared?
No.
Okay. Neither does my daughter. I can't go at all. I'm like, oh, yeah. Even the strobe lights and stuff mess with me.
Yeah, I don't like the strobe lights, that's for sure. But no, if they're chasing me with a chainsaw, I'm like, okay, go get somebody else. It's not that scary.
What's something that, if you could do anything else besides your life path and what you've done, is there anything that you're like, that would be kind of cool to experiame?
I mean, maybe creating fashion would be kind of fun, but really,
you already do that.
Yeah, and in a way, I'm a one-hit kind of person where I know what I like, and that's what I make, and it's not like I want to change the fashion landscape. It's like, no,
but you've never wanted to sell it. You just want to. Yeah.
No.
I mean, that is something that you could do, and you would do it very well. I think you would. I think there's a big need for it.
I think, though, but I'm not personally interested in it. I like making stuff for myself, and then when it's done, I'm like, done with it. You know what I mean? So,
totally. Yeah. Okay, well, I wanted to do like a little round of just asking you a couple of questions.
Okay.
So, what is one fun fact about you as a kid? Like something that maybe somebody doesn't know.
I was the big wheel champion of Joliet, Illinois in the early to mid 80s. Yep.
What does that mean?
I have tons and tons of trophies. So a big wheel. Do you remember big wheels?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so in case people don't know, it's not to be confused with a Hot Wheel, which is the little tiny car.
Right.
But the big wheel
has the big wheel. It's plastic. You sit on it, and you're like a low rider.
Yes.
And you go.
Yeah.
And it's great.
100% plastic.
Have you heard of a big wheel?
I'm afraid to answer that question, but no.
And if you rode it long enough,
I can't believe there's competitions.
Oh, yeah.
Shut up.
And if you rode your big wheel long enough, the wheels would get holes in them, and rocks would get in the holes of the wheels, and it would make this really loud roaring sound when you would go up and down the streets. So my dad found out that in between these drag races, has the big wheel in the front. It's like a tricycle on steroids.
Tricycle.
Like whenever she said
totally.
as a competition too, that's what confused me. I think I was like, wait.
Right.
I've never had. I mean, the only competition I had with big wheels was in my neighborhood with the neighborhood
up and down
kids.
The streets.
Yeah, it was just up and down. Yeah.
No, this was like it became a thing in Joliet, Illinois, apparently, because they would have intermission during like the big car races, drag races, or whatever.
Yeah.
They would clear all the cars.
You had
out.
drag races there?
Well, I don't know if they had a track. So a drag race is one
like
where
we
it goes
did.
down
I was from
strip,
Bristol,
right?
Tennessee, so I'm all about the races. But
the strip is drag.
Yeah.
So what is the when you're going around the track? Just a race?
It's just just a race.
During intermission of the races, they would let all the kids bring their big wheels down, and we had to do one lap.
That's so cute.
Around. Yeah.
Oh
and so
God.
I did it once, and the only reason I won is because the two girls in front of me didn't understand where the finish line was, so they stopped before the finish line, and I went flying through, and I won.
See ya, sucker!
And my dad was yeah. Technically, they're the ones who didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
So my dad, I think, got hooked after that, and that first race, I got a trophy that was like the size I was. It was so wild.
Wow.
But yeah, so he started entering me in all of these, and I was winning them for a while until I got like too tall, because I was a little taller than most kids.
Yeah.
When I got too tall, that I looked like a praying mantis on one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, big
legs.
wheels, are not that big, actually.
And my long legs slowed me down. But
Yeah.
I do have all the trophies.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so there you go. There's a fun fact.
Fun fact. Okay, well, what about pet peeves? What is your pet peeve?
Oh, I don't know if I could think of one off the top of my head. Oh, geez.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's, okay. My mom will tell me, and this is like my mom, a pet peeve about my poor mother, but she will tell me about a really great show that she's watching on whatever's channel. And I'll say, okay, sounds good. I'm going to watch it. And then she will proceed to tell me
you?
the entire plot and story. And I will say, is this a spoiler? And she'll be like, yeah. And then she just can't stop herself. So that's probably a pet peeve.
That happens to me.
Saves me a lot of time, though.
Yeah.
It is. You know what it is you see a show that you really love.
so excited.
And you're so excited, and you just want to share that with your friend.
Yeah,
And
that's
you're
how
like,
it
oh my
is.
God. And then you sit there and you go, did you see? Okay, pay attention.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting ready to
Do I
happen.
need to rewind
okay,
it?
Yeah. Do you need to stop and go to the bathroom? Okay, hold on. I'll just pause it. Go. Yeah. Okay, what is your favorite book? Not a book that you've written.
Oh, yeah, that would be funny if I said,
I will say
wow.
favorite book or favorite movie or series you can do.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, let's see. I can't think of a favorite book. Well, I read, this is wild, somebody recommended The Count of Monte Cristo. And I was like, okay, that book is huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
It is so good. I really enjoyed that book.
Oh, wow.
I was kind of surprised because, you know.
Are you a
very,
big
very
reader?
old.
I know that you.
Yes. I kind of come and go through phases. So for a while, I was trying to read really old books, the
Right.
classics.
Yeah.
They get a little dry
Crime and
after a
Punishment.
while. Yeah. I mean, I tried Anna Karenina. Oh, my gosh. I couldn't.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, but as far as like favorite movies or whatever, I think my brother was asking me this the other day. Like, what movie could you watch over and over again, 10 times in a row, and not get tired? And so we had to list some. So for me, it would probably be, speaking of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, loved that. Blues Brothers. I love the Blues Brothers.
Never saw the Blues
You
Brothers.
haven't? Well, Joliet, it has like Joliet and Chicago tie-in, so I think that's why I like it so
Okay.
much, and saw it as a kid.
Cool.
And it has a lot of good music in it too. And then The Birds. I really like the movie The Birds because the fashion.
Hitchcock?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just love that movie. It's so
Wow.
weird. Yeah, there was another one on my list, and I can't think of it offhand, but those three I think I could watch.
Okay, what's your favorite sandwich?
Favorite sandwich? Wow. Well, I don't eat meat, so it'd probably have to be peanut butter and jelly or something boring like that.
Or favorite food?
Favorite food? Neapolitan style pizza.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, like a quattro formaggi.
Yes.
3 or 4 cheese. Yeah.
Okay, you would like the thing that I always get at the bakehouse, that
Is it-
caprese
Oh, yeah. Is it
sandwich
good?
or whatever. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
But okay. I guess that's it. That's all I
Okay.
got.
Yay!
Thank you.
Yeah.
What was your experience taking your lessons and like your desire to teach people online? What was your experience with that? Like, did you did you get, like, for taking basically extending your classroom out from a physical classroom?
So
that was kind of the idea. So what was kind of your experience with that overall? I'm just curious.
It was, you mean experience, like, was it, so I'll tell you what I think maybe you're asking. I started recording my lessons for my students. So basically the stuff that I share on my YouTube channel is like, hey kids, today let's make XYZ. Yeah. So the reason I started recording it is so that I could share it with my students, because then I wouldn't have to repeat the same dang thing over and over again. Or if I had kids who were absent, or maybe they had been on a field trip, then I could just press play, which was really great. And then what I did was I started then sharing those same videos out to teachers, like, well, hey, if I'm using it and you guys want to use this, here it is. And I think that that's what people found really helpful, because I started doing it before people were comfortable filming themselves. You know what I mean? And people, that was back when you had to use your camera and then like do a voiceover. And I mean, I still do voiceovers, but it was a lot more complicated. It wasn't, though. I mean, the iMovie makes everything
like
so
you've
easy.
You've taught yourself all of this.
Yeah, but technology like iMovie and stuff is so easy. And
for some people.
Yeah, I mean, it's they
everybody.
make it really easy. Yeah. And I'm not real tech savvy or very smart, so they make it easy. It's good to know your limitations. But even for like podcasting, I just use like GarageBand, you know, to do the editing. But
there's a lot more tools at people's disposal than they realize.
Yeah, even just on your phone, you know. But so I think that was why. But you know what really blew it up for me? Now my numbers are way down low for my YouTube channel. I don't make very much money off my YouTube channel, but COVID was when my YouTube channel did really well, because parents were like, my kid's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
And what I did was I taught art live 5 days a week during COVID. And so every day at 11, I went live on Facebook and Instagram.
Wow.
Taught live, and then I sent the video to a friend of mine who's an art teacher, and I just had him edit it, because after doing it for an hour, I was like, I don't feel like messing with this. And he was like, I'll do it for $25 or whatever. So he would edit it. So then I would have the lesson up permanently, but also live. And so those videos did extremely well.
Yeah.
For me. So,
wow.
And that blew my YouTube channel up for a little bit. It was really neat, because I remember the very first time I went live, it was on Facebook that I tapped to join to start it, and it was like already 1,000 people were waiting, and I was just like, for me, I was like, oh my God, I started sweating immediately. I'm like, ah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure your parents are proud of you now that you're doing. Oh,
yeah. And my brother's a teacher too.
Oh, is he really? Mm-hmm. What does he teach?
He teaches English.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know. And he did his student teaching on a Native American reservation. So he decided not to go overseas. He did it.
Is that a normal thing? Like with teaching?
No. It's just that you could do your student teaching like locally, or you could, I mean, for the going overseas, it was more expensive. You could pay a little bit more and do that. My brother paid a little bit more and went his route. And now he still lives in Albuquerque, and he taught on the res is what he calls it. He taught it on the reservation for several years, and now I think he's not on he even lived on the reservation for a while.
So where is he now?
Albuquerque.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Wow.
He just got married, so I was just out there beginning of this month.
Oh, that's when you were sick.
For the balloon festival, yes, and I was sick.
Yeah.
And then I came back and I was still sick.
That's
It's like
not good.
hung with me. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You both became teachers. You may have mentioned this before, but where do you think that came from?
For me, it was just because, like, I guess this is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I did not. And then when I started doing it, that's when I really started enjoying it. For Chris, I don't know how that came to be, but we have teachers in our family. So maybe that's why. Like, my aunt was my English teacher twice.
Wow.
In 8th grade and then in 12th grade. She was so mean. She was a great English teacher, but just so mean. Yeah.
That's not good.
She was so mean. And my other aunt, who is my age, she was in the class with me. So her sister, my aunt, was teaching us, and she definitely would come down really hard on us all the time.
And you're like, I'm going to teach, and I'm not going to be mean.
No, I knew I was going to have to be mean. You have to be mean sometimes. You can't.
I don't see you being mean.
You can't let them know. You got to be fun, but you got to let them know when you're not playing. You know what I'm saying?
You got to have some boundaries.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just
chaos.
Yeah. So we would have a really good time until we weren't.
Yeah. I could not do it. Okay, have you ever sent somebody to the principal's office?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Do you?
Probably,
okay.
I would say out of 25 years, probably a half dozen times. Yeah.
A kindergartner?
A kindergartner, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Usually you can bring them back in.
Yeah.
It's usually like fourth graders when they're feeling kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's just better for them. That we not be near each other right now. You know what I mean? I'm doing this for your own safety.
Yeah.
Wow. You have kids, you know.
I know.
The attitude can get a little like.
I just
salty.
couldn't. I couldn't have done it. I don't have that patience. You know?
And it requires so much. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
That's why you said, "Why don't you do it anymore?" And then after
I'm sure after you go home, you just want to. Be in complete silence, probably.
Yeah.
And just zone out, you know?
I don't know how people who, they say teachers' kids are usually the worst behaved. And I think it's because they're exhausted from disciplining everybody else's kids. They get home and they're like, do whatever. I don't care. Just leave me alone.
Yeah. I mean, because I think a lot of people want that job because they think, well, you'll get like the whole summer off. It's great. Right. But I'm sure
that is nice.
It is. but it probably goes so quick because you've got to plan your next year, and so you've got to go in early. And
I was the dork who would spend a lot of time in my art room because I decorated it like crazy. Aww. I loved it.
You should have.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I do remember helping teachers when my kids were little. Like we decorate the door for the kids that come in. So anyway, well, thanks for being on the show.
Fun. It was fun.
Yeah. So let everybody know where to find you and stuff.
What'd you say?
Well, put your mic back.
Okay, just let them know where they can find us.
Oh, I didn't realize we were still recording.
We're done.
I'm like, I'm out of here.
Well, you tell her.
Yeah, just whenever you're ready, just tell them where they can find you.
Okay. I'm pretty easy to find because it's just my name. It's Cassie Stephens. So I have a YouTube channel under that name. And if you're interested in checking out my books, it's CassieStephens.com. My blog is also Cassie Stephens. One thing I learned early is just put your name on everything. Because if you come up with a funny little name or whatever, which is really great, it's kind of hard for people to remember, are you two bird in one hand? You know what I mean? Two bird in one hand, girl, what? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm just Cassie Stephens. So there you have it.
Yay. Thank you.